Okay, just to do a couple of examples of two-step equations. The first one being 2m plus 4 equals 5. Okay, so the object of when attacking these problems is to make sure we do the same operation at all times to both sides of the equation. And the thing that we're trying to do is basically take this left-hand side, which is an expression in m, to reduce it down to m. Okay, so what do we need to do? Well, the first thing we need to do to this side is recognize that the last thing we did to it to get to m plus 4 is adding 4. So we've got to subtract 4 from both sides. Now, I'm always going to include this little step in here. You don't need to if you're comfortable. 2m plus 4 minus 4 is equal to 5 minus 4. And that gives us 2m plus 4 minus 4 is 2m is equal to 5 minus 4 is equal to 1. Okay, we still haven't solved it. We need to do another step to get down to m. Do this step 2 in green first. So 2m is equal to m times 2. So the inverse operation of times 2 is divided by 2. So we need to divide by 2 to get to m. But of course we need to do the same to both sides. Divide by 2. So 2m divided by 2 is equal to 1 divided by 2. 2m divided by 2 is just m, and 1 divided by 2 is half. And that is our solution. Okay. Next question that we've got is 5 plus 3k equals 12. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of this 5 here. We do that by subtracting 5. The inverse operation of adding 5 is subtracting 5. Minus 5. 5 plus 3k minus 5 is equal to 12 minus 5. We notice that 5 minus 5 is 0, which is exactly what we want. We're left with 3k on the left side is equal to 7. So 3k is the same as k times 3. So this next step we need to do, k times 3, the inverse operation to get back to k is divide by 3, which we need to do to both sides. And instead of writing with a divided by sign this time, I'm going to use a fraction. 3k divided by 3 is the same as 3k over 3 equals 7 divided by 3 is 7 over 3. 3k over 3 is just k, which is exactly what we want to get to, is equal to 7 over 3. And that's perfectly okay to leave it in that format, 7 over 3, when solving equations. Now, hopefully we'll have time before we get cut off to solve this third one. 8 minus 3a is equal to 1. First step, we need to subtract 8 off both sides. The opposite inverse operation of adding 8 is subtracting by 8, minus 8. And we're left with 8 minus 3a minus 8 is equal to 1 minus 8. 8 minus 3a minus 8 is minus 3a equals minus 7. The next step, minus 3 times a is the same as a times minus 3. The inverse operation of multiplying by minus 3 is dividing by minus 3. Make sure you put that minus inside a bracket. Divided by minus 3. Left with minus 3a over minus 3 equals minus 7 over minus 3. Minus 3a divided by minus 3, well, that's going to be equal to just a is equal to minus 7 divided by minus 3 is 7 over 3. A negative number divided by a negative number is a positive number.